Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Dr.NostalgiaGamer. Today I'm going to be doing another Game Room Tour update video. I apologize for the fact that it's been a while since I've released one of these, but my next set is going to be the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, and the original Xbox. I apologize ahead of time if you guys hear a little bit of music in the background. My neighbors are downstairs blasting music like they love to do, and they're a little bit insensitive when it comes to that kind of thing, so I just, I'm unable to do anything really about that, so anyway, excuse that, but I'm going to do my best to try and limit the amount of audio you can hear from that, though, and try to focus on the video game room. Alright, so let's start off with the PlayStation 2. So for each of these, I'm going to do a pan of all the stuff that I own, tell you a little bit about my collection, and then I'm going to probably do, I'm thinking either a top 3 or a top 5 favorite games, since it's harder to price this stuff. Now, this stuff does have a value, and some of it has gone up quite a bit in value, but I'm going to focus more on what I enjoy rather than what's worth the most. So anyway, so let's go ahead and do a quick pan of the PlayStation 2 stuff. You can see I've got Shadow of the Colossus, Star Wars, lots of Mortal Kombats. Those are some of my favorites on the PlayStation 2. Destroy All Humans. Guitar Hero series. I used to love that as a kid. Not so much now as an adult, but loved it a lot as a kid. Got some Dance Dance Revolution, although I'm not a fan of that at all, honestly. I've tried the dancing on the pad. I'm just not good at it. I'm just not coordinated enough for it. Got some Virtua Fighter. Got some arcade ports of the PlayStation 2. Then we have my long line of sports stuff, which I have actually a relatively good completed PlayStation 2 sports collection, which almost entirely has come from paying $1 or so a piece at Goodwill. So, and then this is my loose collection, which I know you guys can't see, but yeah, so that's a lot of my loose stuff is inside of those jewel cases. So let me just do one more quick little pan for you guys so that you guys can see. I have a total of 85 PlayStation 2 games total in my collection. So it's actually it's like my third or fourth biggest collection is PlayStation 2. And this was a system I had as a kid, so that kind of makes sense. It was actually probably one of my most played systems as a kid. I didn't have a GameCube as a kid, and I wasn't a fan of it anyway, even when I did get one. And then I didn't have an original Xbox either. I had a PlayStation 2. That was my system. So anyway, so let's get to the top favorite of my PlayStation 2 stuff. I decided to do my top 5 favorite PlayStation 2 games, so let's start off with that. We'll start off with number 5. Number 5 is Midway Arcade Treasures. I actually just recently picked this up. What this guy is and if you've seen my most recent pickups video, I believe, this is actually featured in that. But anyway, so this guy has 20 classic arcade games, most of which were Atari 2600 ports, but it's got lots of really cool stuff that you could play on arcades, things like Gauntlet and Defender, Paperboy, Joust, Spy Hunter. It's got loads of really good stuff on it. I'm thinking about possibly doing a review of this game because although the actual games are really cool, the interface on this guy is just absolutely butt ugly. Like, it is a fugly way that they interface it. They use like this weird like pyramid scheme, like ancient Egyptian pyramids. Like, I don't really get it. I don't see why it's interesting, or I don't know. I just think it's really butt ugly. I think the games themselves are awesome, and the way they designed it's really cool with all these cool Midway arcade games. But the interface is just absolutely awful. But anyway, so number 4 is going to be Destroy All Humans 2. I really like this game. I think it's cool. I love the Destroy All Humans series. This was actually one of the biggest things that brought me to the PlayStation 2 was the Destroy All Humans series. And I bought this game because I played the first one and loved it, and was just really excited to have this. And played it. I didn't like it as much as I did, and I've even got some, like, I think these are like cheat codes or something that I'd written down as a kid. Let's see. Yeah, these are cheat codes that I wrote down as a kid, and they're still sitting in the actual game because I loved this game so much. I actually did that in a lot of games. But anyway, so this is a cool game. It's just based off of a different time period. Instead of it being like the 50s like the first game was, I believe this one's based off of like the 60s and maybe like early 70s. So cool game with a different attitude, but I don't like this one as much as the first one, but still a really good game and one of my favorites on the system. Next up is going to be Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. I really, really, really liked the Guitar Hero series as a kid, especially on the PlayStation 2. And I loved it. I had most of the games. I played them all like crazy, and I really liked this game specifically because it had legends like Tom Morello and Slash and people like that in this game. I just thought that was so cool that you could battle against legendary guitarists and then play as them using their original instruments. I just thought that was really cool. But anyway, so this is another one of those games. I mean, you can see here I had written some notes for myself. Probably cheat codes and things like that, just things I thought were cool. But this is a really cool game. I played this one a lot as a kid as well. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is going to be kind of a spoilers, I guess, earlier. Destroy All Humans, the original. I actually had a friend of mine buy me this game in, like, 6th grade or something. He bought me this game. He was a friend of mine because I kept telling him how much I loved it. I think I went to his house and played it or something, and I just fell in love with it. So as like a birthday present, he actually bought this for me. And I will never forget that. That was such a cool moment. And I freaking love this game. It is so much fun. Some people don't like it and talk crap about it, but for me, this is just one of those games where it's like, it has such childhood nostalgia for me, and I absolutely adore this game. But anyway, so you play as an alien Furon invading Earth in the 1950s, and there's all these upgrades you can do to your character, all these upgrades you can do to your weapon, upgrades you can do to your ship. It's just really cool. Like I said, one of my favorite all-time games, probably ever, but definitely one of my favorites on the PlayStation 2, which is why I listed it at number 2. And finally, my number 1 PlayStation 2 game is going to be Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Me and my sister played the crap out of this game when we were kids. I loved it so much. I memorized all sorts of combinations. I loved the third-person view throughout the game. I just thought it was such a fun game. I absolutely adored playing it. It was nice and bloody, which is why I was rated M, although I was not 17 years old when I played this game. I was more like 10, 12, 13 years old when I played this game, but I absolutely adored it, thought it was super cool, and I think I even have some like cheat codes I'd written down, or no, these were moves that I'd written down when I played the game. But anyway, I absolutely adored this game, and I really enjoy having it even today, popping it in and playing it for a few minutes. It's awesome. I loved playing as Kung Lao and Liu Kang. I always played as Kung Lao, and my sister always played as Liu Kang. So anyway, I love this game, and I'm really excited to have it still to this day in my collection. When I bought it, I think possibly brand new as a kid. But anyway, really enjoyed this one. And anyway, so that's going to be it for my top 5 PlayStation 2 picks. And now I guess we will move on to the GameCube. So next up is going to be GameCube, so let me do a quick pan of that. I don't have a whole lot of GameCube stuff. I think I've only got like 35 games for the GameCube, but I've got a lot of really good stuff like Star Fox and Mario Party, Wario World, things like that. Some Donkey Kong games, a couple of less heard of games that are really good too. So yeah, I've only got 35 total. This is just the first row, so I'll do one more quick pan of the first row, and then I'll switch over to let you guys see the second row of stuff that I have too. Some sports stuff, obviously. Alright, so here's the second row. Not a whole lot of stuff here, but you can see just what I have, the remnants of what I have in my collection, and then there's my loose stuff. Don't find a lot of loose disc-based stuff as often as I used to. I used to find a lot of it, and I haven't seen loose stuff in a long time, which is actually a good thing, because it's a lot better to have them complete, so. Okay, so on to the top 5 favorite GameCube games. Starting off with number 5, we have one I just picked up recently. It's called Cell Damage. This game's really cool. It's sort of a cartoony... It sort of reminds me of like the battle mode on Mario Kart, except with completely different characters. It's very cartoony and mischievous. I've only played it for a few minutes, but it seems to be a lot of fun so far. You pick up all these little power-ups, and you destroy your other characters. There's just absolutely egregious weapons, things like a giant axe that you swing and things like that. Every weapon's got their own... sorry, not every weapon. Every character's got their own sort of attitude and things like that. Unfortunately, I don't have the manual, as you can see, but... really fun game, and I don't have many GameCube games, which is probably one of the reasons why this one ended up as number 5. But I do really like this game. It seems really cool, like a cool concept. So, number 4 is going to be Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. This was a game I remember I got very early on when I got my GameCube. I bought my GameCube used from a GameStop back when they still sold them, back towards the end before they stopped selling them. I got it for like next to nothing. I think I paid 20 or 30 bucks for a GameCube, and it came with some games, I think. But this was one of the games I got early on because I thought it looked cool and it was super cheap. I really liked this game. I remember playing it and flying around and thinking about how cool I thought the graphics were and how amazing I thought everything was about this game. So that's why this one's number 4. I really liked this game. It's definitely not my favorite on the GameCube, but I thought it was a lot of fun, so I definitely thought it was worth putting in the list as being one of my favorites. My third favorite game is another one I picked up relatively recently, and that is Wario World. I really like this game because it's very similar to Super Mario. It's very similar to Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64, where you have that three-dimensional world of Mario, except the graphics are much better, and you're playing as Wario. And I thought that was really cool, because I've always thought Wario was a cool character that was kind of he was kind of an underrated, underexplored character, so it was cool to get to play as him. Really, really fun game. One of my favorite parts about it is, if you can see right here, it's one of the few games on the GameCube that was Game Boy Advance compatible, where you could connect to a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP through a link cable, and if you had unlocked certain things throughout the game, it would actually download mini games that were a part of the WarioWare game that later came out on the DS, I believe. That was a really cool little set of mini games. I played the crap out of that game, but anyway, I'll get to that when I do my handheld stuff. But anyway, so this is Wario World. I thought this was a really cool game. I was glad I could pick it up. It's actually relatively valuable, too, which is why I was glad I could pick it up for so cheap. I think I paid like a couple dollars for it at a yard sale, so I'm glad I could get it for as cheap as I got it. My fourth most valuable game, not valuable, my fourth most liked game on the GameCube is going to be Battalion Wars. Now, this one, you guys may be like, what? I mean, this was actually a game, once again, one of the ones that got really early on as a kid when I did eventually get the GameCube. I got it many years after the GameCube had been released, and I think the newer things like the Wii and stuff were just being released. Anyway, so this game was one of the ones I got early on, and it was one of my favorites. I only had like 3 or 4 GameCube games for years and years and years. That was all I had. So I really, really liked this game out of all of them. This is one of my favorites. You play as like a little army team, and each of them has their little powers. Like you've got the fellas that have the RPGs. You've got little tanks. You've got characters that just are normal infantrymen. They've all got their own little powers and stuff, and you have to control them. It's very cartoony and sort of kid-like. It's not like really hardcore and adult-like you could see as some of those like third-person omniscient war games that you see that come out today. It's definitely not a hardcore game. It's very fun and sort of cartoony. But anyway, I like this game a lot, so that's why that's my number 2. And my number 1 pick may be an obvious one for you guys, and that's going to be Star Fox Assault on the GameCube. I absolutely adore this game. This was actually the very first Star Fox game I ever played, and I really, really like it. It's a lot of fun. I haven't beaten it, but I just really, really like the game. I think it's loads of fun. This is, again, one of the earliest games I picked up on my GameCube because I saw it. It just looked awesome, and I just had to have it, so I picked it up. Really fun game. I'm really glad I have it, and I really enjoy, even to this day, playing it. And it's also one of the more valuable games, one of the more valuable, relatively common games that you can find on the GameCube. In fact, the GameCube, I was surprised. Several months ago, I looked at the value of GameCube games and was blown away to find out that a game like Star Fox Assault Complete is worth like $50 or $60. Like, that's just crazy to me to think about that. And I've got other games too, like Mario Party 4. That one's worth like $40 or $50. Wario World's worth like $40. I mean, it's just crazy to me to imagine that these games are worth that much, considering I paid a few dollars for most of these at yard sales and at GameStops back when they were selling them for next to nothing. But anyway, so that's my top picks for the GameCube. I will now move on to the original Xbox. So time for the original Xbox stuff. So I'll start with a quick pan, or a pan, I guess, of all my stuff. Got some Halo games, Spyro, Call of Duty, some sports games. Those are easy. Racing games are pretty easy to find. First-person shooters, Grand Theft Auto, things like that. So another pan of that for you guys. What I have. Xbox is actually one of my smaller collections. Let's get to the my top favorites of my Xbox collection. I decided to just do my top 3 for this one. So anyway, let's get started with that. So my third favorite original Xbox game, and the only reason why I decided to only do 3 is because a lot of my Xbox games I haven't played much of yet, because like I said, I originally thought that because my original Xbox was broken, I was going to have to buy another one, and I'd been putting it off, and then I realized that my Xbox 360 would play, since it's backwards compatible, so I've been playing them ever since then, but I just haven't had that much time to play a lot of these. But anyway, so The Legend of Spyro and New Beginning. This is actually one of the only Spyro games I believe I own. A lot of fun, nice 3D concept of the game. Spyro the Dragon is a really cool series, and a lot of people really like this series, so I'm glad to have been able to pick it up for super cheap and complete the way that I did for the original Xbox. So anyway, so that's my third favorite Xbox game. My second pick is sort of a cheat because it's actually a multi-pack, but my second favorite original Xbox game is Grand Theft Auto, let's see what they call this, Grand Theft Auto the Xbox Collection. That is both of the Grand Theft Auto games that were released on the original Xbox. And sorry for that reflective layer. You can kind of see me in the camera in it. But anyway, this is a double pack game. It even says right there, the Xbox Grand Theft Auto double pack. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's hard to read. And this one included Grand Theft Auto 3 as well as Grand Theft Auto Vice City on the original Xbox. You can see there on the side label, you actually get both games. And when you open it up, it's basically got the front covers for each game. You've got Grand Theft Auto 3, the front cover for that one, and you've got Grand Theft Auto Vice City right there. Grand Theft Auto is a really cool series. I recently just started playing Grand Theft Auto 3 again on the Xbox, and I really like it. So I really like what I have so far. But anyway, so and they have special edition covers too. So here's the back of the Grand Theft Auto 3 cover. You got the side of it there, which I think is just the normal cover, and then you've got the front of it. Like I said, these have special edition covers. Both actually came with a cool poster, so I was really excited to pick this up, and I didn't pay much for it either. I think I only paid a couple dollars for it. And I got 2 cool Grand Theft Auto games, posters, and special edition cases and things like that. So here's Vice City, here's the back of it, and you got the side of it and the front of it. Both of these games are really good. Like I said, I haven't played much of Vice City yet, but I played Grand Theft Auto 3 some, and it's really cool, especially since I've played all the way through Grand Theft Auto 5, and I play that game all the time. It's loads of fun. Since I played that game as much as I have, it's really cool to go back to these older versions of Grand Theft Auto and play them and see what this game used to be like compared to what it is now. And trust me, it's leaps and bounds better now than it used to be. But anyway, so that's my second pick for the original Xbox, and my top number 1 pick for the original Xbox is the Halo 2. Specifically, I have this game in both the regular edition and the collector's edition. Specifically, the Halo 2 limited edition version. This comes with the metal case, which I think looks really cool. It's got a nice reflective metal case. It's textured with the Halo 2 logo. Honestly, I don't own the original Halo Combat Evolved on the original Xbox, and if I did, I think that would probably be my number 1. But anyway, so to start off with, though, we're going to say this one. And then on the side of it, you can see the cool Halo 2 logo there and the metal sort of print. And on the back of it, it's probably my favorite part of it. It's got this really cool view of Master Chief standing, and you've got the city behind him, and he's standing, and it just looks really cool. I love the artwork they put into the back of this. So anyway, when we open this guy up, we can see that it has 2 manuals. You've got Conversations from the Universe, which is one of the reasons why I like this, and it's literally just like a little manual talking about like stuff happening in the Halo 2 world, and it's all sorts of cool little stuff. And then you've got the main manual, of course, which is really well done, by the way. And then the game, obviously. So anyway, so I really like this game. I love the collector's edition version. I'm really glad I could pick it up. But anyway, so that's my top 3 favorite original Xbox games that I own, and I'm hoping I can pick up some more stuff soon. Alright guys, so that's it for this episode of Dr. Nostalgia Gamer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video game room tour update. That's going to be it for me on this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I hope that you guys will leave a like, a comment, and hit the subscribe button. And I will catch you guys next time. See you later.